Today's tutorial we're going to be using the pen tool. Yes, there are different ways of silhouetting this, but for our purposes today I want to see everybody using the pen tool. Make sure you show your tools. Again, if your tools are not there, your toolbar, you drop down under Window, go to Tools, and your toolbar will reappear. Okay, so we are going to click on the pen tool. Again, as you hover over it, it'll tell you what it is. The trick with the pen tool is you want to do as little clicks as possible to have the smoothest edge possible. Just a reminder with the pen tool, if you just click once and then click in another location, and then you complete your shape. So remember, you always have to complete your shape. So if I just click in different locations, it gives me linear shape. Okay. For our purposes today, we're going to click, and then depending on the curve and whatever we need, we're going to click in another location. My mouse is still being held down, and if I drag up, it gives me an arc going down. If I drag down, it gives me an arc going up. So, and again, I would need to finish my shape, and I will go over how to edit your shape, because once we're going to do a quick pen tool shape that I'm going to show you, and you're going to notice that I don't do many clicks, because I know in the past I've seen people just keep doing clicks like this. This is not what you want to do. You want to do as little as possible, like I said. So I'm going to start here. I'm going to click here. Again, I'm going to drag, and I'm creating an arch. It's not perfect yet, but I'll show you how to edit your arch. But you want to be able to, if you create the arch, it'll allow you to, it'll give you these handles in order to edit it. So again, some areas you're just going to have a straight click, which is right down here, right? Here I have a slight arch. Whoops. Okay. Here I have a slight arch too. Again, it's not perfect. We will edit it later. Notice my clicks are very far apart because I want a smooth shape. Some of them are right on. Oops. Some of them are not. Okay. And again, I complete my shape in my first spot. Okay, so how do I edit it? So two tools down, you're going to see the arrow. When you click on the flyout, it'll give you the direct selection tool. That's the tool that will allow you to make edits. So when I click on this, you're going to notice that I can pull on the handles, adjust the handles to be more around my shape. Sometimes you need to pull in the handles. Sometimes you need to add some points, and I'll show you how to do that as well. Okay. I need to add a point here because I want it to go in. So if I go back to my pen tool, I hold down the flyout, and you'll see Add Anchor Point tool. I'm going to click on that, and then I can click wherever I want on my line that I want to add an anchor point. And then I have to go back to my white arrow again and then move it as I want. Okay. Okay, I can see down here I need to add one also. I'm just going to blow up on it so you can see it better. It's always easier to look at it close up. Okay. I need to add a point. And then I'm going to take my point, pull it out here, and then close up on my Okay, it depends on how meticulous you are. You want to try to get it as close as possible. Again, I can see down here, again, Control 0, I'm on a Mac, so it would be Command 0 will let you zoom out again. So I can see right now that I need to add another point here. And then I use that white arrow again to adjust it. I'm going to pull out on this one. So again, these handles are great. Okay, so I can see here that I need another point also. So I'm going to add my point here. And you do the same thing if you wanted to delete a point. You would go under here, delete anchor point, and there may be some circumstances where you need to delete a point. But it allows you a little more adjustability. Okay, and again, I'm going to blow up and sort of look at this closer. Where do I need to add a point? There's also, let's see, another point where it says Convert Point Tool. When you click on it, just notice what happens. It'll change, if you needed to have a straight point, it would, and if you had that sort of angle, notice that it would create that for you. You never know what kind of circumstances you're going to need with regards to these curves. So you just take it one at a time here. But notice when I create those different points, it allows me to really get more specific with the curves and place them where I need them. Okay. So again, you can finish yours on your own. Like I said, you're just going to watch me, and you should be applying this to your own shoe. And then I'll walk you through the last step. This may take you longer to do than it's taking me, but again, it took me a little while to get used to how this tool works also. Photoshop takes time and patience sometimes. Okay, so for the most part, we're pretty good with our shape. Let's see. See, I am seeing, whoops. Okay, so I don't even see another handle here. So if you ever have that circumstance, what I would do is delete it and then just add a new one, and it will give you two handles, because you want to have two handles there so you can curve it in the right direction for each side. So I'm going to have to adjust this, bring this in, and then again this just needs to be brought in. So again, sometimes it's a matter of moving the location of your point. Okay. All right, so for the most part, I'm pretty good. Okay, what I'm going to do now is I'm going to right-click, and I'm going to make a selection. You can give it 0 pixels, and it just gives me a selection, a dotted line around that shoe. It's pretty good. Okay, notice with my layer, I want to move this over here so you guys can see it. With my layer, it's locked, so I just want to double click on that and unlock that layer. Okay, it shouldn't affect your selection. So then what I'm going to do with the shoe is I'm going to select, drop down under inverse, and now my selection is not only around the shoe, but it's between the shoe and the outside. And now I'm going to hit delete, and now I have a clear background. Okay, so I have this great, beautiful shoe. Okay, what I am going to do is I'm going to make another layer, and I'm going to drag it underneath, and I'm going to give some color to the background behind my shoe. I'm going to double click my foreground. I'm just going to select any color. Okay, so make sure your foreground color is selected to a color. Select that layer, and call it background. And then I am going to select the background using that rectangle marquee tool. Drag from the top left to the bottom right. And then I'm going to edit, fill, and I'm going to bring it to my foreground color. And you're going to notice that your background is now purple, or whatever color you chose for your foreground. The last thing I want us to do right now is just give a drop shadow to the shoe. So make sure layer your shoe layer and label your shoe layer, and then click on that layer, and then you're going to go under layer. Let's see. Let's see, they keep moving these on me. Yes. Okay. So layer, drop down to layer style, and we're going to give it a drop shadow. So notice that you're able to adjust the distance, the spread, the size, even the color of your drop shadow or the angle. Okay, so you can play around with that. Do something that you like. And give it a drop shadow, hit OK. And now you are done with the first tutorial. So what you're going to do is File, Save As, and you can put your initials. This is my initials. AG underscore, so your initials underscore women's shoe. And I'm going to save it. Whoops. You guys, I want you to save it on your H drive. Save it as a PDF file. Okay. And you're going to save it, and whoops. And you're good to go. So this is the end of the first tutorial, and get ready to start the next one.